Hello, I have returned. We're back. Dark Souls, Cardio Souls. Thumbs up. I'm a few minutes late. I was trying to get myself cleaned up after my workout today. Just took me a little bit longer than I intended it to, but you know what? I'm here, ready to go. We're just gonna get started. Not a whole lot to say that I didn't say yesterday. So yeah, Dark Souls. I'll just talk as we go, because I might as well, right? Oh, you know what? It probably helps if the microphone is facing me. I mean, I assume that it helps. It probably helps. Probably. Alright. Now. Where was I? Oh yeah, I was in that... excuse me. I was in like the crystal place past the Duke's library or whatever it was called. Now, I don't know if that's like an optional boss or what it is, but gosh darn it, we're gonna do it. Hopefully. I got there like at the end of stream yesterday, so getting there was like the lengthy part of that battle. And then I was just trying to find the like path basically to the next bonfire, but I could not find one. And then I got yeeted off the side of a cliff because the floor is lava. I don't know. What am I saying? Jeez. Come on, skeleton. I can speak words. Seems like gears and whatnot in here. Some machinery. I assumed that this like clock tower was gonna move around and do something, but it never really did. Because there was an item that was like in a place that I definitely did not want to drop down to, because I felt like I probably would just die. So I chose not to do that. Oh yeah. Five hits. I gave it a 6 just for good measure, you know. Didn't need 6, but we gave him 6. It's fine. Wow. Okay. These guys are not too tough for me right now. There's just many of them, and fighting multiple at the same time is kind of annoying. That's why I'm just being cautious. You know how it goes. We died 8 times yesterday. So... Not too bad, I don't think. Oh. Whoa. Okay. Do I run away here? What am I... I think he's gonna shoot out spikes. I need more range. Maybe I'm fine. Maybe I don't actually need more range. Yeah, I'm looking into whatever is next. And by whatever is next, I mean Dark Souls 2. Dark Souls 2. I need to kind of figure out the logistics of it first. But it's not really very hard for me to move like dumbbells and stuff like that into this room. To do like curls and shoulder press and some movements like that. Obviously I don't want to do like too much of the same thing, so I'll have to kind of figure it out. And then I'm sure setting up like a wheel to spin on is probably not very hard either, but it's still something I need to figure out how to do, because I've not done that before, and you know, it's what I want to do for this, so all said, I'll figure it out. It shouldn't really be a problem, is what I'm trying to say, I guess. Okay. It's just that guy over there, which, like, I don't really want to like try and aggro them. I know I can auto target to them, like it'll snap target to them, but I feel like it's necessary for me to fight them. I don't think. I'm really short on those prism stones, so trying like not to. I wonder if there's like a. Hold on. I feel like one of these rings. There's a bug flying around. What the heck? One of these rings like lets me see hidden things, I think. Just reverse the abyss is not it. Maybe I'm thinking something else. Attunement miracles, summoning thrust weapons, poise, critical attacks. It's not that. Okay. I'm thinking of something else, I guess. Put that back on. Because I figured, like, if there's a way where I can just, like, see where the path is, that would be better than just, like, walking over empty sky. Because that's a kind of scary thing to do. Why are my souls up there? How do I even get up there? Well, I guess I decided to go that way. Alright, well, can I go back? Okay, seems I can go back. Man, this is scary. I do not like this. So if I go this way, then I can, like, grab my souls at least, because that was kind of good. Was retrieval. Yeah, I assume I need to drop down to the ledge below me, and then there's another way down. I wish I could go this way and drop down on them from this side, but apparently I can't. Okay. If I just, like, run back up here. Because last time I was on the other side of that ledge and I just fell off. That's fine. That was much easier than last time. Okay. But now where do I go? Where do I go? Is the question of the day. Like, I see the butterfly over there. I see some sort of pathway. Chewing on a mustache here. Okay, what the heck? Is it just a continuation? I mean, I can see the little falling bits, but they don't seem to be making any contact anywhere. There does not seem to be any platforms that won't kill me. I fell off that side last time. My head nod. That side. I fell off that side last time. And obviously there was nothing there for me to land on. Well, I died. There's one. Count it. That was inattentiveness that killed me. Not paying attention to my surroundings. Total deaths. We're at 9 for the week. That's no big deal. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and look at this guide. Because, Crystal Cave is where I'm at. Avoid the crystal butterflies. Okay. I was already doing that. Okay, that's where I was before. Apparently there's like a straight shot invisible path. Okay. I mean, I guess so. I guess I gotta try, right? I just don't want to die too many times. Alright. Prism stones. I only have 3. I think I'm gonna rest at this shrine too, so because I'm inevitably gonna die again. Like, I know this by now that I'm probably just gonna die again. So now I have a shorter path. Not that that's really even. It's like teleporting from one shrine to another. It's not that hard. Ugh. Gotta stay hydrated. It's important. Alright, run through here. There's a dude right there. Really? Okay, he's dead. And I gotta fight at least, like, whoops. That was dumb. Wow. 1, 2, 3, block. I took some damage there. I was not intended to take damage. 4, 5. Okay, he's dead. Whoa, where did you come from, bro? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Let's do a little heal here. I do have to fight like 2. I guess I didn't realize there was another guy that was that close. I thought they were both down here. I guess not. I guess I was wrong. Whoa. Alright. Sometimes these guys are really easy to take out, and sometimes they are not. Just kind of depends, I guess. That's fine. Alright, bro. Ow. Just not quite fast enough to get all 5 hits in before he hits me. Alright, this is fine. Running through this cave. Alright. One of the other things it said is that I can shoot arrows to find the path, which is not a bad idea, seeing as I have a lot of arrows, but I'd rather not have to waste them on that. Sadly, I think I may need to. Yeah, I mean, at least the other guy is gone now. Alright, let's try and throw a blue prism stone off the side. Okay. Where do I go? I don't see... I mean, I guess that's a platform across there. Yeah, that's, what's that noise? Also, I want my souls back. Oh my gosh. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Well, there goes all of those souls. I don't even know how many that was. But they're gone now, so it hardly matters, I suppose. I'm really gonna miss that humanity, though, because that was just nice to have. It made my other sword much stronger, but I think with... Oh, you know what I could do? Alright, let me just check and see how this does against these crystal dudes. Okay, that only took 3 hits, which seems like less than my other sword. But maybe once it comes to the boss, I can switch to my falchion so I can use that miracle, which gives me like crazy damage. I mean, hopefully it gives me crazy damage. If it doesn't, then I'm just wasting my time. I should just go grind some humanity. Yeah, this does way less damage to these crystal guys. Okay. Jeez. Also, I have no humanity to like buff the sword either. I get like, I think it maxes out at 10 humanity, but it adds like a whole lot more damage to both fire and physical. I don't remember the exact numbers for it, but it's definitely better. All right, let's get a healing. All right. I'm also going to switch back because all it seems to be better for is those crystal skeleton dudes, and they're not really a problem anymore because I'm not finding them anymore. So, except for that one guy, but it only takes like one more hit to take him out. So, like, why would I waste the time? 1, 2, 3. Nope. That backflip move is really cool. Ow. I'm gonna need more hit points. Or, I mean, healing. Okay. I took way more damage that time than I normally do. What the heck's going on? I don't even think I've used my +5 flasks yet. Okay. I feel like I must be missing something like pretty obvious. But maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm just struggling because I keep falling off the side of the stupid friggin' I can't even words right now, okay? So mad. So angry. That's not true, I'm not actually that mad. That's a lie. I'm sorry. You got me to deceive you. Okay. That was just a path to get to that item, I guess. Well, I need to add that death in too. Alright, once I grab my souls, I'll add that death in. I don't think I've really missed any. I'm trying to do my best to keep track of it accurately. Man, tapping back into the game, if I click the mouse, it could be dangerous. Jeez. Okay. Wait a minute. It is up there. It looks like if I keep just going straight from up there. Man, that deceived me. Okay. Let's try that. If I'm lucky, that will actually be the path. Let's try this. Because it's deceptive, right? Like it tells you there's a drop ahead, but is there really a drop ahead? I don't actually know, because I didn't actually. See, you can see where they're hitting, like over there. Okay. Yes, there is. Okay. The path was a lie. I saw an item over here. What are you? The soul of a hero. Very nice. Okay. Now, is this the boss? Because... do I feel underprepared? There's mushroom people. Okay. Are they angry, is the question. There's one around that corner too, I can see. Can I just shoot one of them, or will they all get aggroed, is the question. Kinda aggroed at least two of them. I got a decent amount of hit points. Okay. Okay, he just tries to ram me. I thought he was gonna try and like eat me. These are like giant crabs or something. Or not crabs, clams. Clams? Yeah. Crystal clams. It's gonna be the name of the YouTube episode. Crystal clams. I mean, it's not really an episode. It's just a VOD upload. Like I don't edit it or anything. But I mean, I can title it whatever I want. Crystal clams. Sounds like a catchy title. This dude over here, just kind of chilling. You guarding any cool items, bro, or? Okay. The hitbox on these guys is kind of annoying for the Falchion. I assume these guys are respawn every time as well. Jeez, they take a lot of stamina when they hit you as well. Ooh. And then when they hit you without a shield up, they also do a lot of damage. Okay. It's time for a little flask. Oh, jeez. Get out of there! Get out of there! The clams are angry. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna die. I died. Okay. I was killed by clams. That's fine. At least I know where to go now. That's like... Oops. That was like the hardest part right there, was trying to figure out where the heck I'm meant to go. Okay. I think I have some humanity I could use. I have 2. I don't know that I really need to, because it doesn't actually make a difference for this sword. A little jiggly armor. Is it? There we go. I turned it up for me, I guess, not for you necessarily. What do you reckon? I think it's possible just to run past all these crystal dudes. I'm kind of halfway tempted to just do that. I am worried they might follow me down though, and then I'm fighting like a bunch of them down here. My jiggly outfit. They don't seem to be following me. I think I still need to fight this guy. Sometimes after they do that jump attack, I can just wail on them. And other times they seem to recover much more quickly. Oh yeah, so Dark Souls 2 is coming after this. But in the interim, since I'm only planning on doing this 3 days a week, I'm going to do other games on the other days. I was thinking about doing Skyrim, because I haven't played Skyrim in forever. And I know there's a lot of good mods and stuff like that that are out for it. It could be kind of fun to play. I just kind of set some to be downloaded. Not while I'm streaming, obviously. I don't have the bandwidth for that. My internet is good now. Pretty good. But not good enough for me to like be downloading stuff while I'm trying to stream. Jeez, do I need to really do do I really need to defeat all these guys is the question. Well, that guy's gonna attack me. Maybe just patience? I can stun lock them, kind of, if I just do that. If I fight them one at a time, I think I can probably win. The problem is fighting more than one at a time. Because there's like a bunch of them in here. And now I've aggroed many of them. All of them, probably, in fact. Jeez, there's... how many are there? Run. On target. I don't want to just go fight the boss with them following me, but... Maybe the boss will take them out. Or maybe they'll despawn? Despawn if I make it to the boss? That'd be cool. Shiny crystals. And this is the guy who, like, was undefeatable in that other section. He's like a shiny crystal dragon. And I believe I need to cut off his tail. Because, like all the other bosses in this game that have a tail, if you cut them off, you get a weapon. And I want to cut off his tail. Yes. He's got a couple of different tails there. Okay. Those guys did not despawn. What happens if I, like, go back to this thing? Can I attack it? Did that hurt him? I think it did. Oh my gosh, I got eaten by a clam. Weapon at risk as well. Okay, great. Apparently that's what happens when I fight clams. They destroy my weapon. These clams are super annoying. Stop following me! If it weren't for these stupid clams, I don't think I'd really be having that much trouble. And I'm dead. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna have to fight these clams first. Apparently. Okay. Nope. Repair equipment. I have no souls. Right. My falchion requires 200. Okay, actually, wait, I do have souls. If I consume the soul of a hero that I picked up, I have enough souls to probably repair my stuff. Because, stupid bugs, what the heck? Where did you come from? It's a mosquito as well. These guys are annoying. Let's use that. How many souls is that? Plenty. More than enough to repair all my stuff. Good. Okay. Nothing broke, fortunately. Hold on a sec. Just a moment. I gotta mute. Alright, sorry about that. My friend was telling me about how he just bought his 80-year-old parents a call blocker that will block, like, spam calls. Like, basically, once a number calls and you know it's a spam call, you can just push a button and it blocks that number from ringing through to your phone. They still have a home phone because they're 80. So that's how that works, I guess. But, you know, modern days, with the cell phone, you can just get, like, spam block protection and call screening and all that kind of stuff just built into your phone. It's good times. Alright. Right, so I can't just run past all these dudes I figured out last time. I do need to fight the stupid clams, though. Again, I wish there was a way for me... Whoa. I don't need to turn that much. I wish there was a closer bonfire. I mean, I know it's not that much of a hassle to run through here, but those stupid clams, man. This is... I guess without the clams, it would not be that hard of a boss, but... I'm just gonna run away from you, because I don't want to talk to you. Oh, one of them did follow me. That's funny. Is he gonna, like, drop down from on high? I hear his feet stomping up there. If I have to fight him, I'll fight him. Alright. Big old chasm there. Yeah, if I just run past everybody, like I didn't even... Man, because I saw that stupid mosquito, now I'm feeling like I'm getting bitten and I'm itchy and... That's annoying. Anyway. If I can defeat these clams without using too much of my HP... What if I'm like way back here? And I like shoot the top of this guy's head. No, he's gonna run at me. Okay. I mean, it does stun lock him when he gets hit with an arrow. He still gets 2 hits stun locked, which is fine. Okay. Interesting. So what if I just did that a few more times? What if I use poison arrows instead of regular arrows? That might be good. And I don't know how susceptible they're going to be to poison, but I also don't have that many poison arrows. I know it takes 2 to activate the poison on most things. Yeah, that's not really the best. He's like behind stuff. That's annoying. I was hoping I could do that without taking any damage. That's fine. Their corpses don't really despawn, which is kind of annoying. Okay. This guy's so far away. That dude came out to check on him. He's like, yo, are you alright, man? I don't really know what's going on. I'm just a weird clam with legs. I feel like it's probably doing almost no damage, but they're too much of an annoyance to have to deal with while trying to fight a boss. I'm surprised it... Alright, let's try and hit this guy then, if that guy's not gonna run at me. This guy's close enough. Yeah, that's doing 9. Nice. Okay. I think that's all of them that are down here. Except for this guy who I've been already shooting. Maybe that's close enough. That's close enough. Yeah, that did no damage to him before. Okay. Now if I just run past that guy that's over here, is he gonna aggro? Does not appear to be aggro. Awesome. Okay. Well, that's apparently how I need to do that then. Assuming I die again. I added that death, right? I think I got distracted. I got distracted and was on my phone. Man, it'd be super cool if I could end this Dark Souls run with less than 200 deaths. I would be pretty happy with that. Which I feel like is possible, because I'm only at barely over 100, and I'm a fair ways through this game. Cool. I need to try and chop off this dude's tail. I'm pretty sure. Actually, let me double check that. Maybe I don't actually need to chop off his tail. And maybe I'm imagining that. The guide should tell me. Okay. I do need to destroy his tail. I figured as much. Alright. I'm gonna put the old flask on. Also, I want to be in Streamlabs, not the internet. I did it again. Okay. Alright. Let's do it this way. Alright. Ready to go. I'm gonna get that out just in case. Okay. Now I wonder if it looks like he has a few different tails, so maybe there's like a different tail that I need to attack, like the one in the back, maybe? I'll wait for him to come a little closer, because I guess this stuns him. Yeah, he's got a big old fat tail in the back there. Come on, a little bit closer. That's good. Nice. Dang it. Okay. I did not really get a chance to wail away on his tail like I wanted to. Okay. He really just wants to not let me get behind him. I'll definitely kill him before I cut off his tail at this rate. I need to get him stun locked, but I really don't know how to do that. It said to shatter that crystal when it stun locked him, and that didn't really seem to help all that much. Okay. Oh, what? I got crushed. Okay, that was weird. Okay. I gotta kill those stupid clams again. That's really annoying. Oh, it's fine. Okay. Stuff's not that badly damaged. Okay. Really not sure what my strategy, because I'd really like to get that weapon. I mean, I guess I don't have to. I could just kill him. I could probably kill him pretty easy with how much damage I'm doing. I just kind of wanted that sword, but... like, it's not like I can even use it, so... I guess what's the point? Later, man. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, there doesn't seem to be a cheesy way for me to do this. He just kind of spins and follows you. Like, it's really hard to get behind him. And I'm pretty fast, but I can't seem to get behind him. And then he kind of throws a tantrum sometimes where he stomps around, and that's what killed me. Oh. I'm not sure what was going on there just now. It was like trying to make me fall, which is weird. I'm not a big fan of that. Yeah, why is there not a bonfire over here? Like, seriously. That'd be a perfect place for one, because then you could just run in and do the boss. You would still have to fight these stupid clams, but then you have to run through all the invisible platforms and all that nonsense. Stupid clams. Alright. More archery. Here we go. What? I thought he died. Why are there two? Okay, they're not actually all coming. Oh, I'm using poison arrows. That's what happened. It's like, seems like they're taking way longer to die this time. Because I was using weaker arrows. What a rookie mistake. Okay. Okay, I distracted two of them. Maybe a little bit closer, I guess. Okay, now he's coming at me. There we go. Oh. A few extra souls for it. Man, it'd be cool if it was possible to do like a whole ranged build where you only use bows. It's just not really, just the way they do ranged combat in this game, it would be too hard. It's like I gotta go into that aiming mode in order to actually do anything. I mean, I guess if I was like keyboarding and mousing it, I could maybe make that work. But you have to stand still and shoot, you can't move and shoot, which is kind of weird. Alright. I took no damage from that, which is great. Okay. Oh, you know what, though? I think he's facing me, which is unfortunate. You can kind of see him through this fog door. If I could shoot his tail with a bow through the fog door, like, that'd be sweet. I'm gonna just try shooting him and seeing if that even does anything. Oh, does it stick in the fog door? It does, okay. They thought of that. One of the few places where they thought to do that. Alright. I had a decent amount of souls. I wonder if I can, like... Is that a weak spot? No, not really. Come on. No. Don't turn around. Oh my gosh, that tail whip. Holy smokes. Eh. Nah. I don't think it's gonna be possible. Alright, that's fine. Oh my gosh. I got stuck in all the crystals and died. Okay. I was trying to use my fancy new thing and it didn't really work out. What the heck is up with all these bugs in here? What the heck? I keep seeing bugs flying around me. I do not understand. This room is sealed. That's kind of bugging me. That was not intentional, but it's kind of bugging me. Okay. Again. Hold on. Let me add this death. And actually, let me double check my window over here. Because maybe it's like come undone or something. Hold on. I'm gonna mute. I mean, it's sealed with like foam and tape, so I don't know why it was doing that. All these bugs are in here. It's really annoying. Alright, I added that death. Let's go. I guess I'm not gonna try and... Do I try and get the sword? It's gonna add up to so many more deaths this way. Which, I mean, I guess it's fine. It's just more cardio. I like that I just kill that guy every time, but then run away from these crystal dudes. Alright. Let's do this. Pay attention. Watch where you're driving. Eyes on the road. Almost walked off a cliff. That would have been dumb. I'm also not sure that the sunlight blade even did anything to that crystal dude. Didn't really seem like it did that much more damage, if any. But I didn't hit him that many times either, I guess. I kind of was stun locked by crystals. Where down is that guy gonna go? I heard him stomping around again. He's up there. Okay. Whatever. If I didn't have to shoot these stupid clams every time, if I could just run past them, that'd be way better. I guess I could look at the guide and see what the guide says to do about them. That might be a good idea. I wonder how wide this walkway is. Alright, let me look at the guide real fast. See what it says about these clam dudes. Ba-ba-ba. Okay, so now that there's a fog door, I can just run past them, apparently. That's good to know. I'm just gonna sit tight here for a second. I'll be right back. Sorry about all the interruptions. There were, I call them shield bugs. They're like a type of stink bug, I guess, but they're kind of shaped like, well, like a shield, like a little shield. They're kind of that shaped. I guess they're Japanese, like, Japanese stink bugs, Japanese shield beetles. I don't know, but they're like an invasive species in Oregon, and they're really bad for like crops and stuff like that because they have no natural predators. Apparently there's like certain types of wasps that will hunt them, but we don't have them here. So they've been a real problem for agriculture, and also they like to get in your house and they stink really bad when you kill them. So not only did I have random mosquitoes flying around, but also those shield bugs I had to deal with. But I think I killed the 2 that were in here, so should be good for a little bit anyway. Alright, now that I know I can run past these clams, we're gonna do that. Because forget fighting them again, that was annoying. And a waste of arrows. It does mean that I start the boss fight with less stamina, maybe, but... They're trying to get through. Oh, I'm not doing any damage to him. What the heck? Oh, I have to destroy this crystal first. Oh, that was a waste. My spell is gonna run out. I did like 1,000 damage. Okay, this is fine. Spell lasts quite a long time. It just ran out. Dang, if I hadn't gotten hit by his spell, or his, like, whatever that was, crystals. He's almost dead. He's dead. All in all, not a hard boss to fight unless you're trying to take out his tail specifically. Which I had been. Oh, hey, look, now it has a... Now there's a bonfire. Hooray. I guess I'll have to get that item on New Game Plus if I do it. Yeah, that's enough for a level up. More hit points. Awesome. Let's repair all of our equipment as well. Okay, and then I can just warp, I guess, back to... Warp on back to the... Duke's Archives. There we go. There's another ember that I can get, from what I remember, from what it said. If I go back, alright, what if I hide under here? That's probably better. Maybe I should switch back to my sword then, or my other sword, because it does way more damage to these guys. Alright, I will. I can also just eat my humanities too. I'll do even more damage to them. Why not? I may as well. Because I think the humanities also increase, like, drop rate of items and stuff like that, too. Yeah, I can, like, two-hit those guys. Run around. This thing had way more range. The dodges. Okay, he's dead. He's not dead. This guy actually took 3 hits for some reason. Okay. Ow. Ah, alright, I don't need to fight this guy. I'm just going here. In fact, I don't even need to go right there. I can just run straight through. I may get hit with some arrows. I feel like there was at least an enemy in here. Yeah, he like runs down the hallway. At least he did last time. Okay, apparently he was a one-time thing. That's fine. I think all this gives me is like some other kind of ember. I can also go up these stairs apparently. Hey, look, a chest. Large magic ember. Cool. Is there anything else in this room? That was the question. Yes, there are other things in this room. What you got for me? The soul of a great hero. Nice. And this is the other staircase. Okay. Is there one other item over here, or is that literally it? That was pretty much it. Okay. Good to know. Well. I need one more soul. Apparently. I have 2 embers as well. What if I... Oh my gosh. What am I doing? I'm so distracted right now. Just have like a homeward bone that I can use. Just return to the bonfire. Teleport. Back to the Firelink Shrine, I guess? Or no. I think I want to be like the Daughter of Chaos. Because I think I have to go down there next. Alright, I'm gonna double check. But I'm pretty sure that's where I'm going. After the Crystal Cave. Crystal Cave... Demon Ruins. Yeah, that's where I need to go. Um, the hole in the wall near this bonfire. Perfect. Descend down a slope. Around the corner, across a bridge, until I reach a fog door. And there's literally a boss immediately. Okay. I feel like maybe a fire sword, not the best item to use to fight fiery demons, maybe. So I'll switch back. And I also kind of want to... Am I hollow? Oh, I'm hollow right now as well. I kind of want to kindle this bonfire as well. It seems like it would be a good idea. But maybe not. I at least needed a rest at it. Is it this way? No. It's gotta be this way. Hole in the wall. Okay. Well, a bonfire. Awesome. Alright, well, if I'm going, like, down around a corner and fighting a boss, like... These dudes do not need to be fought. I see the fog door that I need to go to, actually. How do I get down there? Is it just a one-way trip? Okay. I guess I'm just gonna go fight a boss. Again, they're making me walk to the boss way more than I would like to. At least there's no annoying enemies that I have to fight in order to get here this time. Was there like a sneaky little item hidden around the corner? Nah. Okay. This is kind of a cool zone. Well, it's a hot zone. But it's pretty cool. Didn't you say there was a boss? Game guide? Come on. Where's the boss? I don't see no boss. Am I gonna get jumped? Is that how this works? Boss is gonna ambush me? I can hear something going on up here. Oh yeah, there he is. Ugh. What's over this way? Look, it's fine. I'm not afraid. I'm just weighing my options for... Oh my god, that didn't work. Okay. Jeez. Okay. I feel like that fire is gonna just blow through all of this. That was the wrong thing. Okay. I'm just gonna try and fight him. Because that doesn't seem to be working. I guess I could try and get some fire resistance gear. That might be better. I can't see. Wow. Okay. Need to get a better read on that. I get a lot of hits on it when he does that, though. Okay. Oh, I pushed the wrong button. Okay. That guy's really not that hard. I just need to dodge the correct way. If I dodge to the left, it seems better. I'm pretty sure 15 deaths is right. Honestly, I don't remember. If I'm wrong, I apologize. Oh, okay. This is fine, though. I could try Sunlight Blade. That might be a good idea. Sunlight Blade. Would be more damage for sure. See all sorts of like crazy staircases and whatnot down there. I like that it kind of shows you the next zone. I feel like Dark Souls is pretty good about that kind of stuff. Alright. Let me get ready to apply Sunlight Blade. I could try and put on like better fire defensive gear, but I think if I avoid, that would probably work out more in my favor anyway. Okay, apparently I did not get far enough out of the way. Man. Drink a potion. Man. Where's he going? Where are you going? Dude, how do I dodge that? Oh, he's almost dead. Get up! Get up! Kill him! Kill him! Kill him! Oh, drink a potion. A potion? An Estus. Just get up and tank it. Ah, yes. I just tanked my way through that whole encounter. Oh. And then the fire. The fire? The lava. The hot lava has cooled off. I wonder if I still take fire damage if I go down there. Hey, I got a humanity as well. Eat it. Alright, I'm gonna try and use it and see. They're probably gonna be like immune to fire damage, but I'm gonna have to try. Is there anything cool back here? Or am I meant to just go down there now? Hey, I mean that's... Hey, there was an item. That's 2 bosses down. Ooh, gold-hemmed black cloak. Okay. What does that equipment do? Gold-hemmed. Hey, it's a bunch of fire defense. It's mostly probably what it's going to be. Yeah. Heavy on fire. Also, bleed and poison resist is good for it too. Black iron. Those just have better poison resist, apparently, than my Havels gloves. Gold-hemmed black skirt. That's actually way better than the pants that I'm wearing, but heavier, unfortunately. Man, if it wasn't heavier, I'd totally go with this. But I can't really... How heavy are these? Yeah, 2.1 versus 3. What's my total weight right now? 35.4. And I have a quick roll, I think. Quick-ish. Interesting. There's still items like on the lava down there. So I guess if I equip that set and have like super fire defense, I could maybe run on the lava for a brief period of time to grab items and stuff. Maybe that's a good idea. I don't know. I do know that there should probably be enemies down there now that I can fight, which we will fight. I don't know what that little evil laugh was for. It's fine. Don't worry about it. But yeah, I don't know if I ever mentioned it, but YouTube is doing a new thing where they like have basically given everybody access to personalized URLs. So if you go to youtube.com/@NickTheMechanic, you'll find my YouTube page, which is a whole lot easier than the link that it was before, which is like, you know, a whole bunch of numbers and whatnot. Like a frame rate going out there. What the heck? Where'd all my frames go, man? That's weird. Yeah. That really only helps you if you're watching on Twitch. If you're watching on the YouTube, then you already know that you could probably look up at the top and see that that's what it says. I assume. Maybe not. Maybe it doesn't do that yet. I don't know. But depends on how you access the page, I guess. Alright, well. I want to try and grab some items down here. Is there one over here? There was not. Okay. There's like a dude over there. See how tough he is. Again, I'm probably using the wrong weapon for any of this. Yeah, it looked like he was just like running through lava, so... I mean, that seems to do a decent amount of damage to him. Like, I didn't feel like that was too bad at all. These dudes over here, however, seem like they might cause me some problems. Maybe I'll try and pull one of them off. Okay. It's just one of them. Yeah, the fact that they can run through that lava is not inspiring a lot of hope in me, but... Oh my gosh, that was a lot of stamina. Okay. They're not too hard to fight, as long as I keep my distance. Let's make sure we're on full health. Maybe some heals. That seems good. Take them on one at a time if we can. I distracted him. Okay. Okay. Oh, I'm in the fire. That's not good. There we go. It's like 6 hits maybe to kill those guys, I want to say. It's not the worst. Obviously, I'm not doing the best job at fighting them. There's one over there. I feel like this guy's closer, though. I didn't mean to shoot twice. I also really don't want to be near that lava necessarily fighting this guy, but I don't really have a better place to be. I tried to circle around, but I ended up just going straight. Oh, nice. That was awesome. I managed to get a stun on him and had just enough stamina to kill him. That was awesome. Okay. Man, there's a lot of those dudes back there. Hopefully there's like a good item or something back here, because otherwise I feel like I'm wasting my time trying to fight these guys. Because it's not like I need the souls. I did all my grind earlier. I did it the slow way, but... Okay. I thought that was a stun, but it was him, Okay, that's bad. Oh, I dodged way too early. Wow, where's my range? Good grief. There we go. I feel like I should be farming humanity from these guys for some reason, but I'm not. It seems kind of like a thing that would be happening, but maybe I'm hollowed so I can't farm humanity? I don't know. I could just try and shoot him down as well. Okay, that again was not a stun. It looks like a stun animation. Okay, that was a waste of a flask and got no healing. I managed to get my shield up for that one, at least. Okay, now there's two. Run away. And I died in the fire. Great. I defeated a boss only to die to these big demon mob dudes. That's fine. Alright. There we go. Thought maybe I had some humanity left, but I don't. I guess I used it all. Okay. It does seem like those guys do not respawn though, so that's at least a positive. I only have to fight them one time. I would like my souls, however. And my humanity. Oh, the humanity! What? Wasn't even that close. Stupid lava. When my screen is shaking, why is he so much faster than me? Jeez. How far are these guys gonna chase me? About that far? Okay. I'll fight one of them. Okay, yeah, hitting him with a few arrows actually did soften him up pretty good. I gotta do that more on this next guy. Just take my time and... What? Okay, we traded on that one. His hitbox is so weird. This sword seems so much longer than it really is, too, I think. That's fine. do a heal. How about that? Man, now that I have so much health, that heal does not go nearly as far as it used to. Alright, maybe I can take this guy with the arrows before he even gets to me this time. I can. Should have been doing that the whole time. Ooh, I got the Demon's Great Axe. That's cool. I think I had one of those. Alright, that should be all of these guys that are down here. Except for that guy over by that entryway down there. Yeah. So, I'm gonna want to switch to the highest fire resistance gear that I have. And just like run through to pick it up, maybe. Alright, we're gonna find out. I mean, it may not even be worth it. But, I feel like I have to try. I think that golden hemmed black one is probably the best. Havel's helm is equivalent. Okay. Okay. And this stuff is probably light as well. $58? I doubt there's going to be anything more than 58 fire defense. Something was 54 in there, or 57. I may have missed it. Yeah, no, that's the most. Okay, I have a feeling across the board this is going to be the best. Oops. Nope. Actually, Havel's Gauntlets is better in fire defense. Black Iron is pretty good too. Alright, we'll put Havel's back on. $49? Is anything gonna beat a 49? I doubt it. Nope. Alright, so this is my ultimate fire defense gear. I actually do... I have a fire defense ring as well. Alright, how much fire defense do I have right now if I wear that ring? Fire defense, 345, parentheses 134, whatever that means. Also, I look like a Nazgul. Oh my gosh, I still took so much damage. Holy crap. Oh my gosh. How do I take that much damage with this much fire defense? What? That's crazy. Wow, okay. Jeez. What's my weight at with all this gear on? It's actually lighter. But I fat roll for some reason. Oh, it's because I don't have Havel's ring. That's why. So I have an incredible amount of fire defense that, for some reason, still doesn't work against lava. Which, fair enough, I guess. It's lava. But also, like, why you do this? Hopefully I can actually run up onto that. Maybe if I jump. If I run and jump, that might be better. Ah! 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 Raiders, hello! I died. Okay. Kier, how was the stream? As you can see, I died in lava. Yes, I was very much on fire. gonna add a death here. I've already beaten 2 bosses today, though, so I feel pretty good. And I'm at 17 deaths between today and yesterday, so not my worst performance. Not my worst. The crazy part is, I just put on this gear, and this is like the strongest fire defense gear that I have, and my fire defense is 343. Still not enough to run through lava, apparently. Alright, well, maybe that item is not that important. Need lava shoes, yes. Yes, yes. There was Elden Ring, for sure. I don't have Elden Ring, but I also have Dark Souls 2, which is the next game that I'll be playing once I finish Dark Souls 1. I'd love to get Elden Ring, but I need to work more hours next month to afford to buy a full price game. I figure I might as well play them in order. I also don't have Dark Souls 3, so I need to get that as well. If I could track down a PS3? Was it on PS3? I have the original Demon Souls, which I could play as well. I think I still have the disc of it somewhere. But I know Demon Souls didn't get... they haven't ported it to PC yet for some reason. They also didn't port Bloodborne, which I've also never played. I played all the From Software games. They're pretty good. How the heck am I meant to get up there? We just like run across and then jump? Or am I... There's no way I drop down. "30 minutes played on Dark Souls 3? Okay, that was the trick. I needed to run and jump. And all for... Wow. Well, that wasn't worth it. Okay, I want my souls back. And I died again. Okay, well... This is fine. I needed to do more cardio this weekend. Or next week. It's fine. I even got the item then too. I just need the souls back. So how did the end of your stream go, Kier? You're doing like map runs, it looked like, on Path of Exile? The Mistlands trailer, okay. Okay, where was that? I need my souls back. Also, I don't need this gear on anymore either. Let me change back. Let's see. Whoa! Dieter Dagger, thank you for the follow. I really appreciate it. We're having a good time in here. Or we're trying to, anyway. Oh, Wanderer's Boots. There we go. Actually, I changed it, though, didn't I? I got... What did I pick up? I picked up, yes, the Six-Eyed Helm and the Six-Eyed Armor set, which is kind of cool. And also was, like, slightly better than my my other stuff, and also is jingly. It's jingly. It's good times. I figure since it's like almost December and Christmas time, we get some jingle bells going on. Alright, I think I'm going this way. This seems to be the only way for me to go. Okay. Alright. I don't know what's going on in this next area. Oh, there's many more of those guys. Okay. Grape or strawberry jam? I would have to say I'm more of a strawberry. I live out here in Oregon, so we grow a lot of strawberries, and my mom will make fresh, like, homemade strawberry jam every once in a while. It's super good. My dad used to tell me this story about when he was a kid. His first job was picking strawberries in the strawberry fields. And he did that all through high school and saved up enough money and bought a, like, 1965 Mustang convertible. It was his first car. And I was super jealous because my first car was a Pontiac minivan that got handed down to me, so... To be fair, I didn't really have to work for that, though, so... Alright, well, these guys are easy to take out. How many strawberries you had to pick for that? I don't know. I feel like he was telling me that, like, you would get paid by, like, the amount of strawberries you picked, too. So, probably a lot of strawberries. I'm hitting the pillar. Alright, well, that's fine. But also, this would have been in, like, the 70s. So 1970s money went a lot further than 2022 money, I'll tell you that much. Okay, these guys just don't care. I'm happy to not have to stand up fight these guys. That's fine. That's why I have so many arrows. I see another fog door down there. Ooh. There we go. Oh, that guy just won't tolerate it, but the rest of them will. Alright, well. I guess I just go down. I assume this is another boss coming up. Oh. Hey, look, a staircase. That's probably a better way to go. What the heck are you? Hello? Alright. There's a big worm dude over there, too. those little dudes down there too. This guy's coming for me. Well. Apparently his turning speed is not very fast. I don't even know if this is like the most efficient weapon for me to use down here. I feel like all these guys have high fire resistance. But it seems to be working alright, so whatever. Man, sometimes arrows are just broken in this game. Hey look, there was a bonfire. Alright. Well, that's good to know. Now I'm closer to the boss. They're weak to fire, yes. Well, like, some of them seem sort of like reptilian, which would kind of make sense, right? Because, like, reptiles like heat. But then, like, you know, that dude was a worm, and this dude is like, I don't know, fire-breathing pottery or something? I don't know. Wow. Maybe I just do a lot of damage, and these, arrows are doing more. That's weird. Okay. When they're close, I guess they're doing more. A sword or a mace? That's a good question. I mean, I have swords on the wall, so I'd probably pick a sword. I am pretty strong, though, so I could probably wield a mace. Is this guy gonna chase me all the way up the stairs? Okay. That is true, depending on what armor people are wearing. Oh my gosh. Okay, he's good. We're done. Whew. I suppose it depends on what kind of sword as well. Like, if the sword and the mace weigh the same amount, like, you're probably better off just using a mace. I at least know how to use a sword a little bit. Like, when I was younger, I did fencing and, like, kendo and stuff like that, so I'm at least a little bit familiar with how to use a sword. I suppose it also depends on, like, who you're fighting. Like, if it's a bunch of other, like, modern-day people who got transported to this Coliseum, then a mace would probably be way better to use, because you could just wear people down if you're strong enough. I don't even know if I need to go over here yet, but... That's true. You do kind of need a little bit of a wind-up for a mace. Okay. Mr. Worm. I wonder if I can just hit him with a sword. That does like no damage. Okay. He also spits like acid. That's fun. True, you can grab a mace, but I feel like there's a lot more like mass you would have to overcome to just like grab one. Again, it depends on who's swinging it, right? Okay. Oh, I got like eaten, apparently. Wow. If it's not mid-swing, yeah, true. Okay. Apparently I've been eaten. And I'm dead. Well. Yep. That is true, yeah. You just pull the sword. That would be kind of a devastating injury as well. Taking out all the fingers. Is this a dude I can attack? Nah. Alright, I'm gonna switch to the falchion and see if that does more damage to these dudes down here. Oh yeah. So they are pretty resistant to fire damage, because it took more than 2 swings, I feel like, to take these guys out with the other sword. Oh, that demon respawned. Oh, didn't get far enough away. A bow over melee. Well, I mean, the range advantage on melee would be pretty awesome. But again, you got to be able to hit a moving target, which is way harder. You've done a bit of archery? I've done a tiny bit as well. In high school, a friend of mine used to have horses as well, and he tried to learn horseback archery, which was pretty cool. He had a little, just a little recurve bow. Out of anything, though, I think a spear would be the best option. Especially if it's like a long-bladed spear, which you could use like a little bit as a sword for like the cutting action, but then you have the range of a spear as well. True. I also am a big fella. Alright, where are these dudes at? Can I just run past them? Nope. I'm gonna get killed again. Nope. Okay, I made it. Watch this be a mimic. Oh, it was an ember. Awesome. Now I can just shoot them in the back and they can't do anything. Oh, we got some green titanite. Nice. Alright. What am I doing? Okay. Flask. That's what I'm doing. Alright. There we go. Alright, well, that was probably worth it. I got some embers out of it. This is true. It depends on, like, how many arrows you have is an important factor as well. I heard one of those worms crawl out of somewhere. Oh no, it was maybe these pot dudes. There we go. They're done. Alright. Okay. One. When he holds them together, it's one. That's also one, but it's not stamina. There we go. No problem. Say, like, having a shield is an important thing to consider as well, because that opens up a lot of possibilities. Because if you're the guy with the bow and arrow, and you know, you have somebody with a shield, they just hold the shield up and block your arrows. Like, not really anything you can do at that point. Depends on how heavy the shield is too, I guess. I do not want to fall down there yet. You can shoot for the legs, but it's true. Alright, is this gonna be a boss? I feel like with the shield it's more about like deflecting the blow rather than just fully blocking it. Okay, oh, it's... That was all of my stamina. This is like the prison demon, only made of fire. Okay. fire explosion is really the only thing this guy's got against me. Oh, that will also hurt. Never mind. Heal. I'm out of Estus. That's no good. Oh. Oh. I'm locked in heal mode. Okay, now I have a shield. Oh, he's so low. Alright, well, that was a death. Oops, not 21, 20. There we go. Alright. Let's see. I have no souls. I need to repair my equipment. Let's shoot some dudes. Probably don't have to fight all of those guys. It's probably enough souls to repair all my stuff. Probably. Well, I guess I also have some consumable souls I could use. I didn't even check to see how many I even had. Now I think about it. Before I died. That is true. You can't just like roll around like that. It's really not an effective strategy. Repair. Yeah, in trying to avoid being hit, like, footwork is probably a very important factor to consider as well. There's demons and worms and... Oof. Got him. Okay. And I'll shoot the worm for some souls, maybe? But I really need them going into this fight, I guess. Maybe the fire resistance ring is a good idea to have. Maybe I go to all fire resistance for it. Meh, I don't care. I think if I use my miracle, I can probably take this guy out. Where's the heal? There it is. And I drank a potion. That's not what I meant to do. Oh. Okay, do I do it before I walk in? I feel like he's pretty close. Yeah. Yeah, he's pretty close. Jeez. I don't know how to avoid that firebomb that he does. I'm not even gonna get a chance to use my... Just pick up the souls. Oh my gosh. Just pick up the souls! And I didn't even pick up the souls. Jeez. Okay. Well, that was interesting. Oh, that's 21. I've died more today than I did yesterday. Night, Rita. Have a good one. Have a good day at work, or night at work. Alright. How many deaths is this boss gonna take me? That's the question. Yeah, sleep is important. I used to work as a graveyard shift security guard one time. Boy, did that suck. If I ever wanted to do anything with anybody, I had to basically just like stay up for, 20 plus hours at a time. Not fun. Do not recommend. Yeah, it sucked because like I was the new guy, so like, of course I had to take that shift because I was the new guy. Nobody else was gonna do it. No, I never really saw anything freaky. I encountered a raccoon at one point. And a drunk guy in the bushes that I had to ask to leave, who refused to leave, so then I called the police. Like, that was basically it. I didn't want to call the cops on him, but like I was required to, because I had to like report everything that happened on that site, so... Basically, the cops just came and woke him up, and he went back to like an RV that was parked nearby that apparently he was with, and then he, like, I don't know, he didn't get arrested or ticketed or anything, so. It was kind of a whole lot of nothing. But my thought was like, if your RV was right there, why did you decide to, like, I don't know, pass out in the bushes? Like, I also don't even know how he got there, because I didn't ever see him walk by on any of my cameras or anything, so it was just one of those weird things. Oh. Okay, why was that one so much more delayed? Okay, he has like 2 different firebomb things that he does. That's weird. I think I got him this time. One more! There he is. I didn't even pick up my souls. Nice. I'm mad that I lost all that humanity, though. That kind of sucks. Demon Catalyst, oh. If I was doing sorceries, that'd be really cool to have. Alright, well that's 3 bosses that I've beaten today. So much progress. I have a feeling I'm gonna finish Dark Souls maybe this week. I guess I'll have to see. And someone was telling me yesterday that Dark Souls 2 is like significantly more of a learning curve than Dark Souls 1. So that kind of... Hey, Tender Chimp. What's going on, buddy? How late did you have to stay with Zach at work today? Tender Chimp is one of my coworkers, for anybody who was wondering. You just got back to 3rd? Wow, okay. That's a long day. What are these guys doing? Alright. They were just like guarding this guy's soul, apparently. Alright. Let's see. Oh. Apparently that's an elevator. Oh. Okay, that's cool. That's a good shortcut. I mean, just being a regular security guard, like, depends on how much they want you to pay attention, but like when I was a security guard, I would like watch Netflix and stuff, and like it wasn't a big deal. That was the cool part about that job, was like I could read a book or watch Netflix or do whatever, as long as I monitored the cameras every now and then and walked a patrol of the site every hour, then that was all I really had to do. Being a prison guard, though, that sounds like too much trouble. Just stand staring at a urinal? Yeah, that would kind of suck. That's true. Oops. Make sure no one breaks it. Yeah, just standing there watching people go to the bathroom all day would kind of not be fun. Neither of those options really sounds that good. I feel like there's a larger aspect of danger to being a prison guard, though. Alright, I'm in the Demon Ruins. I just noticed that those dudes were up there. Both places smell like urine. Yeah, probably. I came up from that way, I think. Yeah, I did. Okay. I don't really feel like I should drop down there. I wonder where that is. You can see guys out there. Huh. Alright, well, guess I'm gonna go back. This way, I guess? I don't really feel like dropping down is the right choice. Those guys don't care anymore. This guy does. Go. Ah! I'm on fire. Okay. Oh man. The I'm on fire just triggered an old memory for me. Back when I was a kid, me and my brother used to have a Sega Genesis. I'm in my late 30s. I'm late 30s. I'm 35. I don't need to say late 30s. I'm 35. So Genesis was like when I was a kid. We had that, and we had NBA Jam. I just had the soundbite of "He's on fire" just run through my head. It's best to round up. I'm just gonna say my age. Like, I'm not really ashamed of my age, so I'm like, I might as well say how old I am. It doesn't really matter. Alright, we got another fog door down here. Is this an additional boss? That would be incredible if it was. What you got for me out here? Okay. Something's happening. It was. I thought that was a dude. I shot him with an arrow, but... Two more and we get it straight. That is true. This guy's unpleasant. A centipede demon, okay. I cannot auto-target this guy, apparently. Also, I can't hit his heads when he does that. Ow. I just shoot him, I guess? What the heck? Oh, I hit this guy. There we go. Now I can hit him in the legs. Oh, or he can stomp on me? Okay. That's not good. Oh, he's going down. Oh, or I'm going down. I'm in fire. I'm gonna be on fire. Drink! Drink! No! There we go. I got him. Whew. Sometimes I can do it on the first try. Ooh, the orange charred ring. Okay. What does that do? Humanity. Reduces lava damage. Oh. Okay. I guess I should have waited to pick up those other items. First try. Heck yeah. It's the lava shoe. Exactly. Now I wonder if I combine it with if I combine it with the other armor, if it like reduces it even more, or if I just am wishful thinking. Another good question would be, how much does it reduce the damage? Because it doesn't say eliminates, it just says reduces. It actually is the image of a shoe on the UI. That's kind of hilarious. Okay, it still does damage, but way less. Do I even... Is there... Okay, there is an item. It's just Green Titanite, okay. I feel like that's the strategy, to reduce the amount of time I'm ever in lava. Okay. How many bosses? Is that my 4th boss for today? Man. They really have end-loaded the bosses on this game. Now what? Oh, there's a cave over there. It's like, where do I go? I don't think there's any other items in here. And even if there are, I don't know that I need them. Oh yeah, so much less damage. Might have been better just to run across that, actually. Oh, there's... Hello. Oh, it's still there. Hello. What can't you find? I don't know what he's looking for. Anyway. Alright, let's see. Guess I'll just keep going. Did I rest there? I should rest there. There we go. The lava shoe. Now all you need to do is predict the lottery numbers, and then we'll all be rich. Oh, what the heck are these dudes? Are these more of those centipede guys? Oh my gosh. Lost Izalith. Okay. Boy, do I not want to have to fight all those dudes on a precarious little path like this. Okay. Where am I supposed to go? Over there, maybe? Or that way? Maybe that way. Let's see. Any other way to go? Well, there's more items out there, but... Oh, there's the way. That's probably where I want to go. I'm guessing. Random shield bash going on. Run! Okay. Okay, another consumable soul. There we go. There's the lottery numbers. Take out loans. What happened to this guy? Why is he not real? Because he also moves. Like, what the heck? How about you? You're also not alive. Okay. This feels like a trap. Okay. Well, it wasn't. I'm surprised that wasn't a trap. Okay. Angry, stompy centipede demon guy. Would I shoot him with arrows? Oh. Always. Okay, there was a health bar. It's just below him, apparently. Did I just get too close to him and he just got mad? Maybe I can just run past. Okay, I can just run past. I imagine I could probably farm these guys for souls, but... I probably don't need to at this point. Although I haven't hit that max on my health yet. Oh, it's with humanities. Nice. Okay. Ow. Statue dudes. Trying to fight me again. Alright, I feel like I'm gonna be way too close to some of these dudes. There's also like items everywhere in here. I may have to backtrack through this area at some point to see what if there's anything good. Seems like I want to go that way. Maybe. That could be a costly mistake though, if I'm wrong. What time is it? 8:40? Alright. Alright, that was the way. Nice. Well, could also go up that way. Is there an item over there? No, it goes to the same place. Cool. Looks a bit like... a little bit, yeah. With my little jingly bell armor. He does sort of have that kind of squared off helmet. Yeah. It's but a scratch. I guess. Huh, where'd you come from? I didn't even see that guy. He's hiding behind me. Hey Ned, yes, what's going on, buddy? How's it going? I saw earlier that you were finishing up your Dark Souls. Did you actually get finished today? Okay. A little sort of okay. I don't know why I'm struggling with these guys now. It was so much easier earlier. I'm on fire! Apparently, that guy like just flamethrowed me through the wall. That's always fun. It was like yesterday, the boss that I was fighting, it had an attack that would just go through the walls. That was annoying. But I was making that boss way harder than I needed to. I figured it out after a couple runs. I saw a shiny back here. Where are you, shiny? There it is. Very nice. You did finish it today. Nice. I have a feeling I will probably finish this maybe tomorrow, but probably next week. I mentioned it yesterday. Maybe I mentioned it earlier today too, but after I'm done with this, I'm going to do Dark Souls 2. I'm calling it Dark Souls, so every time I die, I'm going to spin a wheel and do like arm curls or shoulder press or some other exercise that I can actually do on stream, rather than my my current thing, which is just cardio that I do every day. I think it'll be a little bit more entertaining, and I heard that Dark Souls 2 is like a much harder game, so we will have to see. But yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I have 21 deaths today. I've beaten 4 bosses. So actually, I've made a lot of progress today. This area is slightly confusing though. I'm not really sure where I'm meant to go. I think this is the point in the game that I have never played. Like, I played a lot of Dark Souls 1 up until this point in the game before. Like, I was pretty familiar with a lot of the other areas. Oh. Oh, like, Nazgul-looking pyromancer dude there. What'd you have on you? Catalyst? Okay. It's like weird pitcher plant looking sort of thing. Okay, we got a fog door. Light door. I feel like they changed the names of those between the different games. I keep wanting to call it a fog door because it's a door that looks like it's made of fog, but I think they call it a light door in this game. Or they say traverse the white light, that's what it says, I think. Oh, pyromancy. Awesome. I'm at the point where I'm not really using pyromancies anymore. There was one other way I can go over here. I feel like I should check it out. Or maybe there's 2 ways. I think I can go down there, or I can go down here. Okay, there are 2 ways. There's an item down there. Okay. Looks like I can probably just go all the way around to get that. I think I still have that fire resistance ring on, so those guys really aren't doing that much damage to me. Oh no, I have the lava boots on, that's what I have on. I don't know if any of these items are really that worth it for me to collect at this point. Pretty sure I have all of the gear that I'm intending to collect, so this is just kind of for fun. Stretching out my playthrough, I guess, longer than it necessarily needs to be, but... Ooh, the simulation theory. Man, I can't remember where I was reading this, but it was like actually like some scientific like evidence, or I don't know if necessarily that's the right term, but like the possibility that we are in a simulation is not zero, which is kind of interesting to think about. Okay. What's in here? I found the trap. I feel like I could see down into this area before as well. I don't know that I really want to be down here. Let's see. Yeah, for sure. Comparing it to computer software. Well, I didn't mean to do that. Everything is happening simultaneously. Yeah, just like how time even works is crazy. There's all sorts of crazy science. Why did it let me come up here? Okay. Does it think I could jump across to that? I guess I could try. Yeah, no way. Alright. Getting close to time to end. I could really do with a bonfire. You can think about it with like a video game too, right? Like I'm playing Dark Souls, which is basically just a series of files on my computer, which like are just all boiled down to zeros and ones that somehow work with hardware that like it's just the deeper you get into everything, like the crazier it kind of even sounds. That's why, like, there's that, I don't know who this is a quote from, but, like, sufficiently advanced technology is basically no different than magic. Which I've always liked that quote. Arthur C. Clarke? Yeah. Oh, a staircase. I should be live tomorrow night, 6 p.m. I'm kind of doing like a... Oh, that's bad. That's a lot of poison. You don't want to be in there. Yeah, I'm doing like 6 p.m. streams Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, starting next week. But I will be live this Thursday because I'm doing Thanksgiving on Friday. So I'll be live Wednesday and Thursday this week at 6 p.m. Pacific time, if you want to catch me again. I actually need to be heading off here soon too, so I'm kind of trying to find a bonfire. Because I'm so far away from one at this point. Awesome. Alright, I look forward to seeing you again. Have a good one. Oh. There was just a path back up. Okay. Okay, there's a Titanite demon down here. I think I'm too far away from him. Okay. How close is it gonna make me get? Okay, now I can hit him. I hadn't heard anything about the report since the last... It was like a year ago. This guy's way tankier than the other ones. Or maybe I'm thinking of like the UFO one, which is not necessarily aliens, but... Okay. Alright, maybe I switch weapons to fight this guy. There's a fleet of UFOs above the Virginia Air Force Base every day? That's insane. I remember talking to a former coworker of mine who worked on an aircraft carrier in the Navy, and he's seen like triangles and stuff like that, and lights in the sky when they're out at sea and stuff like that. It's pretty crazy. Did he pick me up? Oh, he picked me up. That's no good. Oh, I died. Okay, well... Afraid of running into one, so they contacted the government, said, "This is you guys, get it out of our airspace. There's so many that's a safety hazard." That's crazy, man. Alright, well, I died without making it to the next bonfire, but it is 3 minutes till 9, so I am gonna end. Let's see. We'll go back to... I can find my scenes on here. They move around sometimes, it's kind of annoying. I know it's got to be on here somewhere. That one? Nope, not that one. I found it. Alright, there we go. Alright, thanks everybody so much for watching. What was I gonna say? Yeah, if you want to catch me on... If you're watching this on YouTube, Thanks for watching it on YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that kind of stuff. Man, my brain just... Woo! I stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday. No, I stream at different times now. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday at 6 p.m. You can catch me there. Yeah. Thanks everybody for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.